I was recently asked, what are your favorite makeup books? And I can tell you right now, this particular book changed my life. This is Making Faces by Kevyn Aucoin, but this is one of 3 books that I used to carry around like my Bible. Because of this book, I went and got a job at a makeup counter in a retail store, and I would bring this book and I would ask the customers, oh, can I just like try this look on you today? Whatever look, I would just pick out of the book and try different looks on the customers. And a lot of times they would buy all of the makeup that I did. I knew I was onto something, but I would work in retail for 10 years before I became a makeup artist working on set. This is one not everybody knows about, but this was his very first book. This is The Art of Makeup. This one actually came out in 1996, and this book has 2 of my favorite makeup looks of all time inside. Oh my God, it's just so good. This one first. This makeup on Naomi Campbell. How stunning is this makeup? Obviously Naomi is, well, she's a supermodel, she's absolutely stunning, but this makeup is just so special. Now I've recreated this on my friend Brenty a few times, but the one image since the moment I saw it has never left my mind. Is this one of Linda Evangelista. This was on the cover of Allure, June 1991. I have been obsessed with that makeup look ever since the day that I saw it, and we are going to try to recreate it today. And if you're wondering, how am I gonna get my hair blonde? I have a blonde wig. How am I gonna get my eyebrows to look like that? Because I have no eyebrows. I have eyebrow wigs. I mean, even just the, oh my God, my book is falling apart at this point, but even just the opening. It's so good. When I was assisting Pat McGrath, we actually did this image on Linda Evangelista. That was the first time I ever worked with her. I just remember putting her lashes on and I was like shaking because I was so nervous to work with her. She was so nice. She was so incredible. I loved doing her makeup. She was knowledgeable. She'd tell you stories. She was funny. See this one here? You see that eyeliner? That is why I started to do my eyeliner like this, like very clean, very crisp, and very black. When I saw that image, it's like it stuck with me my entire life. So when I started doing my eyeliner, I always had that image in mind. So that's kind of where it came from. This one of Claudia Schiffer, I think I'm obsessed with pale lips because of this image. So good. She just looks all over blonde and then 2 nostrils. I love it. Luckily, Kevin gave us detailed descriptions on how to do some of these looks. So here he's listed a lot of the colors and the technique. And of course, if you look in the other books, he gives very specific details on how to apply. I mean, I'm telling you, these books were our YouTube before YouTube existed. Now I'm ready to turn into Linda Evangelista. Let's get into this tutorial. But first, I've got to wash off this war paint and all this gel in my hair. So I'm gonna literally go take a shower and be right back as the real Erin, no makeup Erin. So I totally forgot that in Face Forward, Kevin actually did this look on one of his male friends. If he can go from this to this, I think we have a good shot at doing this makeup look. And I kind of feel like this would look good on everyone, no matter your skin tone, no matter your face shape. I think that this is just a really beautiful makeup that will work on all. Now I have one other thing. The great thing is that he also broke down every single step here, so we can follow most of these steps. I might add in my own little spin just for what works for my face, but we do have directions. Now I also have this book, Linda Evangelista, photographed by Steven Meisel. Inside is a high definition picture of this makeup look. So I'll probably have this on the floor. So if you ever see me just turning down to look, I'm probably referencing this particular picture. Okay, let's get started. The first thing that I am going to do are face tapes. Now you've seen me do this before in my Marlene Dietrich video, but I'll go into a bit of detail. Now I kind of wear face tapes all the time since I did that video. I often do them here to lift my bottom of my face and to give me more cheekbone. I just love the way that looks. First, I always do a bit of alcohol and I just take off any moisture on any of the places I'm going to put the tapes. And I think I'm gonna do it right in this space here. These are tapes from Aucoin from Mark Trainer. You can get these in brown or blonde, but since I'm gonna put on a blonde wig, I'm gonna do the blonde ones. I always try to do it so it goes behind my ear and I angle them so I'll get the most lift. Okay, I've done them on this side. You thread that through the top, and so that's underneath of your tape. And that way you don't see it. Okay, so you just try to get them as even as possible. I'm basically gonna have to put them in my hair, but look what that does. Ooh. And because we're gonna be wearing a wig, you're not gonna see the tapes at all. That's why I always do my little black swooshes, my little swirls and my kiss curls around the face, because you can cover up the face tapes that way. This is so funny. Okay, I'm gonna put those behind my ears, brush my hair back. I'm not gonna tighten these, but I think I'm just gonna connect them so they're kind of out of the face. Nice. I'm actually gonna go in, gotta shake the bottle. This is C6. This is from my kit, so you can see it's labeled C6 MAC Face and Body, and this is a lot darker than my skin, but it's a very sheer foundation. And this is how I would do Gigi and Bella, anyone who has a face that tends to be lighter than the body, just from wearing sunscreen. It's a very sheer, easy, natural way to get a bronze skin without really looking like you have makeup. But with the way face and body works, you have to rub it into your hands and kind of create friction, and then it starts to become grippy. Now I'll do this wash on my face, but then I'll go back in and clean up the skin after I do the eyes. This is gonna kind of help cover my freckles. Yeah, you start to feel the grip after a while. And you just really rub it in like a moisturizer. I try to avoid the face tapes. I don't really like to get makeup on the face tapes because I feel like it looks more obvious. Just keep rubbing it in until it looks like there's really nothing there. So that just warms up the skin, but it doesn't actually look like you're wearing any makeup at all. That is how we do bronzer in the fashion makeup beauty world. Every time I start my makeup look, I do my eyeliner first, and there are two products that I always use, and you can tell that I always use it. It's the Westmin Atelier black pencil. This is not waterproof, and I specifically do that so I can shape the eye. And then I use, this is a Rephr 03 brush. As you can see, it is used because I use it every day. Whenever I start an eyeliner and I got these long ass nails on, it's just about impossible to be precise. So I just go in and try to get into the lashes, and I'll sort of make a mess, but then we'll smudge it out with this. I cannot tightline my eyes with any pencil any longer. I can't put eyeliner down here. My eyes get so dry. I don't know if it's just from years of using lash serums. I stopped a couple years ago, or from like the eye drops I used to use every day, but my eyes got so dry. So I do no tightlining, although that probably would look amazing with this look. And then I'm gonna go in and start to shape. I will pull out slightly, but like if I just leave my eye like this, I can see where I'm putting the product. And the brush kind of helps because then all this skin that's moving, like the pencil just doesn't often glide, whereas the brush makes it easy to smoke out. Her eyeliner is completely connected to the very outer corner of the eye. I always have a bottle of Bioderma and a little cup with some Bioderma inside. These Q-tips are from Daiso, Japan. They're really hard to get, but I have like 3 drawers full of these because this is how I do makeup. I apply and I erase. So I'm gonna start by just pulling that outer corner and making that super sharp. And with the eye open, and then I'm going to clean up some of this here, just so it's not so thick. That looks pretty good. And you can see too with Linda's eye, it's very thin right in here, and all the darkness is on the outer corner. Okay, that's a great start. If you saw a shift in the lighting, my overhead lights were on, so I just turned that off. We're going back 20 years. And now I'm going to lift. I think I'm gonna go to the second one. Okay, let's see. The trick I always do is I blot the eyeliner, and then I'll put a little touch of powder over it, and then I go in with a waterproof. This just like locks it in place, so I have some sort of shape there that helps to guide me for when I'm doing liquid liner. I got my bucket of Maybelline Fit Me loose powder that I always have on hand. I'm just taking any old brush, and I'm just gonna pat. Now I'm gonna go in with a waterproof eyeliner pencil. I will go into here and then just guide over that line. This is just the technique I use every single day. This, I'm gonna be as precise as possible and just bring it all the way out to that corner to make the eye look super sleek and elongated, and go right on top where I have that line. I love layering makeup. I think that's the key to making the blackest black, but yet it still looks somewhat soft and almost as if it's become part of the skin versus laying on top of the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye, and I'll be back. I'm using the Nars matte concealer. I always do my eyelid with this product, and I'm just gonna avoid obviously going on to the black line here and just do a very light layer. all over the eyelid. Just take whatever's left over on your brush and sharpen the edge there. This is a palette I made for my makeup kit that I would always have on set. We have MAC Taupe, which is no longer, it's discontinued, and it's my favorite taupey color that I'm gonna use in the crease. This is a black shadow. I believe this is from the brand Inglot, and clearly I liked it because there's a hole in it, but there's so many good black eyeshadows out there, so any black eyeshadow. But I am gonna go back in with this Rephr brush, and I'm just gonna go right on top. Even if you get a little fallout, it's okay because you haven't done your foundation completely, but try to be pretty precise. I'm gonna lightly go into the crease here. Very lightly, and then go back here just on top of everything to add more drama, add a little bit of smoke, but try to keep it pretty precise. For this little bit up here, I'm just gonna slightly smoke that out. I really don't want it to be too dark there. I just wanna connect with that outer corner. Just gonna soften that edge. Is that giving? Just going back in with a little more and then soften. Don't worry if you go too far because you always have your Q-tip ready. I just keep reusing them until they're mush. Isn't that gorgeous? Other eye, same thing. Just gonna go on top and then lightly. I wanna let my eyelid loose, so when I connect it, I'm connecting at a pretty area, a pretty spot. Okay. If I go too far at all, like there, I want that a little more crisp, I just go back in with my concealer brush, or you can use your Q-tip again and just clean it up. I always just kind of like wipe my brushes. Usually I'm in like an old t-shirt and I'm just like wiping them on my t-shirt. I love where this is hitting. It feels Audrey Hepburn-esque. So he goes in with black liquid liner, but I'm gonna do the shadows first in case I get any like of the light color fallout on the black. He says he uses the light beige all over into the crease. I don't like a lot of heavy eyeshadow because I start to get, you can see it, like very wrinkly on the eyelid. So I'm just gonna take this taupe and just swish into the crease, bring it down onto the lid very softly, and then just create a little bit of bone structure and connect that outer corner. Dipping into a really light color just to wash all over, just to soften it a little bit and add a little brightness to the eyelid. I'll kind of bring that upward. That's good enough for now. We'll come back to it. I've got to curl my lashes, and let me tell you something. This just happens to be my all-time favorite lash curler, which is made by Kevyn Aucoin, and not just the brand Kevyn Aucoin. He actually designed this. He launched 3 products before he passed, and he was working on his cosmetics line. He launched an eyelash curler, a mascara, and his brush collection. And I happen to have his brushes, his actual makeup brushes, his actual eyelash curler, and a bunch of other products that came from the lab that he created for his brand. It's pretty insane, but his wonderful partner and business partner of 10 years, Eric Sakas, actually sent me his actual product. So what I can tell you is this eyelash curler has not changed since he created it. Look, if I have to curl someone else's lashes, I have to take the eyelash curler, turn it around, and I will go in and curl your lashes like that. That is freaking scary. But the reason why I love this lash curler, it opens so much wider than any other lash curler. Do you see that? Like that's as far as that will go, and this one opens wider. And you may say, oh, that's like a millimeter difference. When you have to curl someone else's lashes, that makes a huge difference. He also created this red band so you could actually see the lashes as you were curling them. I love to know that the brand hasn't changed what he created over 20 years ago. Okay, so the way that I curl my lashes, you can see they literally go downward. So I always start at the tips and then I work my way back. Kevyn actually wrote that he did the opposite. He started at the base and then worked his way out. But for my lashes, they're just so straight. I have to do it this way, and I have to wear waterproof mascara. Also, this lash curler has never pinched my eyes or pinch someone else's eyes. Do you see what a difference that makes on my eyes though? Like it just brightens and lifts the eyes. So even if you naturally have curled eyelashes, if you curl them, it is going to lift the eye at the base. And as you'll notice, I did not ruin my eyeliner either when I did this. And that is because we put the shadow on top. But if you went on top of liquid liner, it's over. It's all gonna be left on the eyelash curler. After I curl my lashes, I always go in with a waterproof mascara. This is Definicils by Lancome. This is just a really soft lengthening mascara. So I do this because when I put liquid liner on and it touches my lashes, it ruins them. They get all crunchy and crusty, they fall. So if I do this step first and then do my liquid liner, it just kind of helps to keep the lashes looking pretty, keep them curled. And you can start to see the look really come to life. This is my all-time favorite liquid liner. This is the Anastasia, and it dries super matte black. It stays in place. Since I found this stuff, it has like changed the way I do my eyeliner. It's so crisp thanks to this. I think I'm gonna start just behind the lashes and keep it as close to the lash as possible. I don't wanna mess with the smokiness that we've created. And I definitely wanna strengthen this so it's as black as possible. So Kevyn says that he only did like 6 coats of mascara, and he doesn't mention false lashes, but I think I'm probably gonna do at least a little on the end. But first, we've got to put on the eyebrows. Now I'm gonna position this. Obviously the color is a little off, but you can go in with like brow products. So you can see the lace on the eyebrow wig. So you have to cut around that. And then normally what I do once I paste them on, I will actually color them in, brush them, gel them into shape. So I'm gonna start by cutting out the lace. I had to use a little bit of eyelash glue because I can't find my spirit gum. Okay, I've got the eyebrow. I've put the glue on where my natural brow pretty much is. And I'm just gonna hold it and push it down. We're gonna have to do some work to get this to look somewhat close to hers. I have eyebrows again. Okay, I'm gonna throw the other one on. We have eyebrows and we have Vivi. Oh, you do. Okay, I was gonna color in that eyebrow, but maybe with the blonde wig, it might actually work. This side, it got a little, I should have left it a little longer. We'll cover it with the wig. Okay, I gotta put you down. This is from Kiss. These are Shy Lashes, and I literally wore these yesterday. I wear these every day. I always cut from the outer edge and use the smaller part. So this is how much I've actually cut off from the end. So you're left with something like this. That's just with a little half lash. I think it does add a little extra something on the outer corner, but it hopefully doesn't look too obviously fake. Now I'm gonna go in with my regular foundation that I always use, but because I have this layer under, it should just warm it up a little bit. I do change up my foundation from time to time, but I've been using the Shiseido Skin Glow Revitaliscence. Usually the way I apply this is I'll use one dot for my whole face, and again I'll go in with the fingertips and just kind of slather on in the center. I don't make it perfect, I just kind of like to put it all over, and then I'll go in with my sponge and blend everything out. You know, Kevyn actually would go in with concealer first and then do foundation. I've never even tried to do it that way. For the concealer, I normally wouldn't use the Nars matte under my eyes. I usually just use it over on my eyelid, but I think I may need a little more coverage to get that airbrushed Linda moment. And this might even be a little bit too light, but that's okay. I'm gonna give a little bit of brightness, and I might even lightly contour my nose a bit. I'm gonna use a little bit of that concealer just to sharpen right at the end of the eye. And I'll just blend out with my sponge. It doesn't look like Linda's wearing a lot of foundation, but the picture is airbrushed a bit and retouched, so, and she's a 20-year-old supermodel, so I'm gonna give a little extra. Okay, I actually released the tapes. I still think like it's sitting in a really good spot, the eye. I'm gonna go ahead and set my foundation with a darker powder. It's again, the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm gonna put a lot of powder on just to make everything look really perfect. And it was very matte in the 90s. And I know that Kevyn would often do the base first and then put a really heavy powder underneath the eyes. And then he would do the eyeshadow. Kevyn Aucoin was the king of contour. He created contour in a way that we had never seen before and really sculpted the face. It looks like she has on a little blush, but I don't think blush was super prominent. I know he would have contoured, so I'm gonna go in. This is actually, as you can see, this is my favorite contour powder. This is the light fair color by the brand Kevyn Aucoin. I'm just gonna go under the cheekbone and just give a little bit of contour. To be honest, I never really contour my cheekbones, but It looks like in the picture he would have done that lightly. Now for my nose contour, I don't have a Linda nose. I just want to make my nose look straight. It's so crooked. So usually what I do is I do like a V shape here. And then I do a little line here just to make it look shorter and kind of more button-like. And then I'll go and do a rounded tip. I'll perfect that, but already that just makes it look a little snatched in. And then I'll go on top of my lips and just give a little definition and under. I'm just adding a little of that taupe shadow lightly underneath the eye. I don't want anything too harsh. I want everything to be focused on the top, but it looks like there's a little bit of definition underneath. It doesn't look like there's a lot of blush. So I'm going to use the Armani number 51. This is like a good sort of mauve pink tone. And I'm just going to hit the tops of the cheekbones. Just a little color in the face. As far as lip liner, I know, Linda told me herself, I know that Kevyn would use the original 90s Spice MAC lip liner on her lips, which has shifted a lot in color because I have an original one. The color has shifted a lot warmer. So I'm not going to use the Spice of today. He was also the creative director of the brand Inui, and you can see Linda using this pencil often, this particular lip liner. Now, the rumor is that he created this lip liner to match her lips perfectly, but I've heard that it's not true. They just happen to match her lips quite well. The closest I've ever found to the Inui pencil is Mario's Smokey pink liner. It is not exact. I've never found an exact dupe of the Inui pencil, but I am going to use this lip liner and I am going to slightly overdraw. I always do, but we're going to try to get Linda's lips. I think I need a little bit more. I do love this tone. It's a really nice beigey pink tone. Okay, he says in the book, use your fingertips or a lip brush, which we have on the back of the Mario. He says use a bubblegum pink cream lipstick. So I'm going in with Made by Mitchell Nude Rinse. It's pretty pale, but it does have a little bit of a pinky tone. And I'm gonna start in the center. I love that. And I'm just gonna blend into the lip liner. So I'm gonna add a little touch of a creamy pinky toned gloss. This is Le Camisole by Lucie and Pompette. This is actually owned by Eric. Eric, who is Kevyn's business partner. He sent me all of his products. I became so obsessed with this lip gloss. I wear it all the time and it just gives that gorgeous, slightly pinky nude tone that I'm always searching for. And it's not too glossy, it's like more cream. I love that combination. Now, Linda doesn't have a beauty mark, but I do, so I just added mine back in, otherwise it just looks like a little blotch there. So I'm gonna pull the tapes tight again, and then we're gonna put on the blonde wig. The tapes. Oh, for the life of me, I cannot find a wig cap. Look at my head. And this blonde wig, oh my God. Garen, who did the hair on Linda, genius, legendary. He's actually a friend of mine, and I probably could have asked him for some help on this wig. Since I moved so far from the city, I don't know, I just thought, you know what? I'll order a cheap little blonde pussycat wig on Amazon. This one, honey, I did try to cut her. Let's see if we can make it work. Garen is gonna shudder when he sees this wig. You know what? It's kind of working. Garen, if you're watching this, you'll be happy to know that I used Armani hairspray, your brand, to make this wig look a bazillion times better than it did when I first put it on. You know what? Not bad. Now for the famous quote, I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day. I'm obsessed. Now, you may not want to turn into lindaevangelista, but I hope that these techniques help teach you something as far as makeup application. I have learned so much because of these books and the master that is Kevyn Aucoin. I will forever be grateful to this man for changing my life and for teaching me how to do makeup, and then I can pass it along to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Now, I've got to go to work. My Zell is calling. Bye. You know what I realized I forgot? The contacts, the blue-green eyes. Dear Seanna, change me to blue-green.